Hello everyone, today's practice is going to focus on building stability in your upper body as well as in your core. And hopefully these practices will make you feel good and a little bit more energetic as well. So let's start with the upper body. You will have a yoga mat, and if your knees are sensitive to being on the ground, do grab a blanket to put beneath your knees as well. And we'll meet up on hands and knees in a tabletop position. If you don't have a blanket handy but your knees don't like this, I will often double up the yoga mat. So I'll fold it in half, right where my knees are, so it has a little extra padding, and then bring the hands back to the earth again if that's helpful. Either way, on your hands and your knees, let's just warm up the spine with a bit of cat and cow. Inhale drops your belly and lifts up your head. Exhale is the opposite, hugging chin to chest and puffing up through the back of the spine. And we'll keep going like that. Inhale drops the belly, lifts the head. Exhale puffs up the back of the spine. Good, now breathe in, come to neutral in your spine and just give your tail a simple wag from side to side. It helps build a little length in the sides of your body. Good. Now right at center, we're going to start to experiment with the shoulder girdle. You can see how if you press into your hands and you press the earth away from you, you can press up the back of your back. Good. Now let's do the opposite. Soften the way you're pushing on the ground and let your shoulders almost fall down towards the earth. Yep, let's do that again. Breathe in, press the earth away, puff your back up towards the sky. Exhale, let the space between your shoulder blades soften down towards the earth. Let's do it again. Inhale, push into the earth, puff up the back towards the sky. Exhale, soften the space between the shoulder blades down to the earth. Good. Breathe in, come just to neutral and give your tail a little wag from side to side. From here, let your bottom sit back towards your heels, and of course you can have a pillow between your bottom and your heels. And let's give your wrist a break. So roll out your wrists. They might crack and pop on you. That's okay. And you can shake them out as well. And we'll come right back onto hands and knees again for a modified plank pose. So first, find table. And that tabletop shape is when shoulders are over wrist and hips are over knees. But we're not going to stay in table. We'll take the knees and start to walk them back. Let's start with about 3 inches. See how that feels. And then lean the body forward so shoulders are again over wrist. And you might feel how already it's harder to be here than it was to be in that tabletop shape. If it feels quite challenging, you know you found your edge and this is where you need to stay. For more, we're going to walk the knees back another 3 inches. Now, you see how my shoulders want to be way back here? Instead, I'm going to insist that my shoulders come forward over my wrist. And then I start to create a diagonal line from my shoulders down to my knees. I'm in a full modified plank. Now the tendency here is to kind of drop in the belly and stick up your butt. Don't do that. Instead, hug your belly back towards your spine and feel that long straight line from shoulders down to knees. We'll stay for 3 breaths, pushing the earth away, almost like you feel that lift in the space between the shoulder blades pushing up towards the ceiling. Jaw is soft. Breath is steady while you stay. Next breath out, kind of stick your butt back behind you. Let your shoulders move away from your wrist. And wag your tail a bit from side to release. Good, let's release even more by opening the knees nice and wide, bringing the big toes to touch, and sitting the bottom back towards the heels, head towards the earth in child's pose or balasana. Stay low in your bottom, but walk your hands and your upper body to the right, maybe so much they leave the mat. And when you found your edge, drop your head back down and stay for 3 breaths. To switch, lift your head a little bit so you can walk your hands all the way over to the left side. And at the edge, drop your head back down. Slowly walk yourself back to center. And we'll lift back up onto your hands and your knees. 3 rounds of cat and cow in tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the head. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, drop and lift. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, drop. Exhale, hug in. All right, my friends, come to neutral, and we're gonna come right back into that modified plank shape. So fingers are spread, shoulders are over wrist, knees walk back 3 inches first, and you're gonna pull shoulders forward over wrist and see how this feels. It might be enough. For a more full version, walk your knees back 3-ish more inches, so we're all a little bit different. And you want to pull your shoulders forward over your wrist, creating a diagonal line from shoulders to knees. Hug the belly up into the spine and push the earth away from you. We're going to stay a little bit longer this time, holding for 5 breaths while you push the ground away. To release, send your bottom back, drop your belly towards the ground, shoulders move away from the wrist and the tail gets to wag a little bit from side to side. Good, bring your knees forward so you're back in that tabletop, hips stacked over knees, and let's thread the needle. Inhale, lift your right arm up to the sky and open through your chest. Exhale, thread the needle so your hand goes down towards the earth until the right cheek lands on the floor. And once the right cheek has landed, you can stay here. Or lift the left arm up towards the sky, reach behind your back, and catch the inner right thigh or anything along the way. My friends who moved the left arm, let's bring that back down first. Together, all of us inhale, lift the right arm back up to the sky. Exhale to release, and give your tail a little wag before we switch sides. Inhale, left arm lifts up to the sky. Exhale, thread through until your left cheek lands on the mat. Stay here, or right hand can go behind your back towards your inner left thigh. Friends, with the right hand up, bring it back down. All of us, inhale, lift the left arm up to the sky. Exhale to release, and give the tail a wag from side to side. Okay, we're going to do one more round of that modified plank pose. And this time we're going to add in a little extra as well. So, shoulders are over wrist, fingers spread wide. Knees walk back 3 inches as you find a more gentle version and decide if you want to stay. For more, keep on walking your knees back another 3 inches or so. Insist on bringing the shoulders forward over the wrist. Feel the diagonal line in your body. Hug your belly to your spine. Push the earth away. And this might be more than enough. If you have lots of energy to play with, we're going to move through some modified push-ups. So we'll breathe in. Pull the shoulders back. Bend the elbows and lower a few inches. Exhale, push back up. Form is more important than how far down you go. Breathe in, pull back the shoulders, bend the elbows a few inches. Exhale, push back up. One more time. Breathe in, shoulders back, bend your elbows, and they should not be winging out to the sides. Exhale, push back up to center, and we'll take 3 breaths holding right here, unless your body is giving in. To exit, bend through, not bend through your belly, stick your bottom up, let your belly drop, and give your tail a little wag from side to side. Now, in whatever way it makes the most sense to you, come to sit on your bottom about in the middle of the yoga mat. I like to side saddle the legs off to one side to come to sit. Once you're on your bottom, bring the soles of the feet to the earth in front of you. Let your hands be behind you. And we're just going to windshield wipe the knees a bit from side to side. Good. Now, the next time your knees point up to center, let them stay there. So knees are pointing up. Bring your feet together. Now, take your right hand and hold behind your right knee. Same thing on the left side. Left hand, hold behind your left knee. Now, perhaps you can see in my back right now how I have that round kind of kitty cat shape. I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to pull my shoulders back and down, lift up my heart, and try to make my back as straight as possible. My belly is pulling in a little bit to help make this happen. It can be really challenging to hold right here, and that might be enough. If you have a little bit more to play with, flex your feet so that it is only your heels that are resting on the ground. Continue to hold the backs of your knees, lift up through the chest, pull down through the shoulders, and imagine that there's a wall in front of your feet and you're pushing your feet into the wall to keep energy all the way to the end of your body. Keep breathing while we stay for 3 more breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, the toes come back to the ground, the hands come back to the ground, and the knees get to windshield wipe a bit from side to side. And we are moving in the direction of Navasana, or boat pose. And that was our first version. So as we move into the next 2, if you at any point want to come back to that first version, you can always keep your feet on the floor, keep your hands behind your knees, and start to play with flexing your feet so it's only the heels that touch the earth. As we move in a little bit more deeply, bring the soles of the feet back to the ground. Take your right hand, hold behind your right knee. Same, left hand, hold behind left knee. Get the kitty cat out of your back, roll your shoulders back and down, lift your chest, squeeze into your belly, and perhaps flex your feet so only the heels touch the earth. Now really hold on behind your legs. That's going to be your helping contact point here. And keep an imaginary string at the sternum that lifts the chest. Maybe just your left foot comes with plays with coming up off the ground. Good, put it back down. Same. Right foot lifts a few inches and put it back down. You're gonna get an idea if that's too much strain. And if it is, hold with both feet on the earth. If it's feeling kind of doable, let's bring the left foot up and hold it. And it can come as high as parallel to the knee. But you choose how high you want to go. Same, right foot comes up. And to make your life a little easier, you can squeeze the legs together as you hold on to the backs of your knees. This is where it gets tricky. You're lifting your chest, keeping the cat out of your back, shoulders down, feet alive like you're pressing into a wall, belly strong, jaw soft, eyebrows wide. Let's stay for 3 more breaths here. And the release is to bring the feet back down to the ground. Hands to the earth behind you. Windshield wipe the legs from side to side. And of course, the next version is going to be more challenging than the second. So if the second is where you want to hang out, that's okay. In preparation, feet back to the ground. You might want to move your bottom back if you got a little too close to the top of the mat. From here, right hand comes behind right knee. Left hand behind left. Kitty cat goes away, shoulders come back and down. Belly in, heart up. Feet come a little bit closer, but not too close. You don't want it to hurt your hips. From there, flexed feet. Stay or lift the left leg a little or a lot. Stay or lift the right leg a little or a lot. Maybe feet touch if that feels helpful. Now, only if you can keep your chest lifted and your belly strong, you might let go of the right knee. If you know it's not working, come back and hold on. If it's all right, right hand is free, left hand is free, and we hold in space right here. To release, of course, the feet come down to the floor, the hands come to the floor behind you, and we'll windshield wipe the legs from side to side. And as a little release, come to sit on your bottom with the soles of the feet touching and the knees wide. You might be sitting up on a blanket or anything that feels helpful here. Take your thumbs down to the arches of your feet and give your feet a little massage. Good. Enough of that. Move your legs back into a comfortable crisscross applesauce seat. Again, seated on a blanket might be helpful. Take your hands to your knees. Breathe in, pull your belly and your heart forward and open up your throat. Exhale, do the opposite. Push down into your knees, curl your chin to your chest, and push the back towards the back wall behind you. Again, inhale, pull into your knees, drag the heart and belly forward and open. Exhale, push into your knees, close it all up. Inhale, come just to neutral. And let the shoulders roll back and down. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and notice how you feel. When it feels safe to do so, open your eyes and come back into the space. and say thank you to yourself for giving you 2 new ways to build a bit of strength and stability in your upper body and in your core. The first being that beautiful modified plank shape, and the second being Navasana or boat pose, both of which will help continue to build strength and stability in your body.